Alchemist. As anticipated. Like I said, maybe we could see something fancy with the Troll Waller, but it makes more sense that the Troll Waller should be the safe lane because he can farm a lot faster than the Mirana. Frostbite, the creep that Enchantress controls, and then suddenly the Enchantress rotations doesn't look as scary because, you know, if your creep just dies instantly, it's just not as scary. And the safe lane position. And Mirana, you know, it's a classic mid laner. It deals well with Alchemist as well. It's not like he has issues. Bottom lane, we do have the Faceless Void playing up against the Necro plus Oracle, 2 ranged heroes. So the CM will get a lot of free space just going in and jungling together with Loligo on the dark side, as he does not want to show his... Let's see. So last hit wise, safe laners. Actually, the Necro is already falling a little bit behind. His ugly muck in the top lane, knowing that he's against a Carl plus a potential Enchantress roaming around on him. Mid lane, we do see BCC on the Alchemist. He's not last hitting that well in the bottom lane. The Alchemist is ahead of the Mirana in the mid lane by a big amount though. As BCC, he was dual laned like a little bit as the Enchantress made that rotation on him, but it's 13 last hits versus 6 last hits, so you know, Poleman Shield, Quelling Blade, he hits a lot better than Slash Strike. It's hit by an arrow point blank. We do have the Enchantress moving in as well, trying to do something, but we have the CM in position to just try and help his Alchemist friend, you know, go in. Then yeah, Slash can do on his Mirana. And for that purpose, you know, he's just been able to gather himself a lot of last hits. Mirana will get some last hits himself. Frostbite, the creep that Enchantress controls, and then suddenly the Enchantress rotations doesn't look as scary because, you know, if your creep just dies instantly, it's just not as scary. Let's see. So last hit wise, safe laners. Actually, the Necro is already falling a little bit behind eventually, but he is a little bit behind, and you can see the Alchemist is already moving into the jungle using his level 2 acid spray and gets himself a big amount of gold. He's not last hitting that well in the bottom lane. The Alchemist is ahead of the Mirana in the mid lane by a big amount though. As BCC, he was dual laned like a little bit as the Enchantress made that rotation on him, but it's 13 last hits versus 6 last hits, so you know, Poleman Shield, Quelling Blade, he hits a lot better than Slash Strike. Yeah, so a stack will be cleared up. The CM leeches some experience, so he gets his level 3 very quickly, and BCC, he's a happy man. Stack the camp. Efficiency will be lost as he didn't stack the camp on the way back to the lane. Either way, it's only a little bit of efficiency lost. He will just go in, then yeah, Slash can do on his Mirana. And for that purpose, you know, he's just been able to gather himself a lot of last hits. Mirana will get some last hits himself. He'll keep on farming. He will just push this lane as aggressively as he possibly can. I imagine he just purchased himself a soul ring. So yeah, he can keep on spamming his acid spray as much as he wants eventually, but he is a little bit behind, and you can see the Alchemist is already moving into the jungle using his level 2 acid spray and gets himself a big amount of gold here. So a stack will be cleared up. The CM leeches some experience, so he gets his level 3 very quickly, and BCC, he's a happy man. Stack wants to go into the jungle, farm a little bit, then this way he will just keep himself very farmed. And in the meantime, bottom lane, you know, with the Necrophos tri lane, they can the camp. Efficiency will be lost as he didn't stack the camp on the way back to the lane. Either way, it's only a little bit of efficiency lost. He will just go in, he will keep on farming. He will just push this lane as aggressively as he possibly can. I imagine he just purchased himself a soul ring. So yeah, he can keep on spamming his acid spray as much as he wants. Push very aggressively into the Faceless Void, and he's taking tick damage over time just because of the Heartstopper aura from the Necro. So that simple spell is just super annoying against the Faceless Void. He doesn't have any more regen available. He's on less than half HP, so he needs to be careful, and unless he can ferry himself a salve, he may actually be killed showing up in the lane again. Wants to go into the jungle, farm a little bit, then this way he will just keep himself very farmed. And in the meantime, bottom lane, you know, with the Necrophos tri lane, they can. Top lane, we do have Lolik on the Doxy. He's level 4. He has 21 lasted, so doing a lot better than the Faceless Void. Now he runs into the Enchantress, but push very aggressively into the Faceless Void, and he's taking tick damage over time just because of the Heartstopper aura from the Necro. So that simple spell is just super annoying. And the Enchantress was hoping that he could have his team to help him here. He will go for the double stun, one of them misses, and he will only do a little bit of chip damage onto this Doxy. Oh, but the Golem pops, so he has 2 more stuns available. Doesn't go to use them though. So that will be the end of this little attempt from the Enchantress. The Enchantress has been active. He's tried to do something. It's a Faceless Void. He doesn't have any more regen available. He's on less than half HP, so he needs to be careful. And unless he can ferry himself a salve, he may actually be killed showing up in the lane again. Here and there, but so far he's not really been successful in his pushes. I guess he can help getting the tier 1 tower taken down very early in the game, as the creeps from that he can. Top lane, we do have Lolik on the Doxy. He's level 4. He has 21 lasted, so doing a lot better than the Faceless Void. Now he runs into the Enchantress, but the Enchantress was hoping that he could have his team to help him here. He will go for the double stun, one of them misses, and he will only do a little bit of chip damage onto this Doxy. Oh, but the Golem pops, so he has 2 more stuns available. Doesn't go to use them though. So that will be the end of this little attempt from the Enchantress. The Enchantress has been active. He's tried to do something. The controls is just keeping control of this creep wave. He just he enchanted one of the creeps that had an iron shell on it. Now he kills the other one, and the Doxy can't do anything about here and there, but so far he's not really been successful in his pushes. I guess he can help getting the tier 1 tower taken down very early in the game, as the creeps from that he can pushing this lane back, so he will lose his tier 1 tower in the end, as that is the early game impact of the Enchantress. In the meantime though, bottom lane is getting pushed as well, as the Faceless Void has a little bit of a hard time keeping this lane under control. He has a ring of regen now, so he can heal a little bit, but it's not a lot. It's very limited how much this guy can regen, especially with the Heartstopper aura constantly being applied to him. So this tower should also fall down within a couple of minutes. And as for the mid lane, the Mirana is just the controls. It's just keeping control of this creep wave. He just he enchanted one of the creeps that had an iron shell on it. Now he kills the other one, and the Doxy can't do anything about farming on his own right now, as the Alchemist usually just spends his time in the jungle. He's sitting on 50 lasses, as the CM has been stacking for him, preparing the jungle very well, and BCC pushing this lane back, so he will lose his tier 1 tower in the end, as that is the early game impact of the Enchantress. In the meantime though, bottom lane is getting pushed as well. He's been getting pretty much next to perfect farm in the lane, so getting everything in the lane plus getting like 6-7 camps, this is the farm you have. As BCC, as the Faceless Void has a little bit of a hard time keeping this lane under control. He has a ring of regen now, so he can heal a little bit, but it's not a lot. It's very limited how much this guy can regen, especially with the Heartstopper aura constantly being applied to him. So this tower should also fall down within a couple of minutes. And as for the mid lane, the Mirana is just farming on his own right now, as the Alchemist usually just spends his time in the jungle. He's sitting on 50 lasses, as the CM has been stacking for him, preparing the jungle very well, and BCC he's looking very scary. We'll get the armor at around like 6-7 minutes on top of Soul Ring boots with a Quelling Blade, so this guy's farm is you know, this is a game where the Alchemist will get a lot earlier of a peak than he usually gets, if they don't shut him down. And it doesn't look like they will have a way to shut him down, because once he has the armor completed, they just simply don't have enough damage to deal with him. Like they can't make rotations unless they commit at least like 3-4 heroes. And we'll see. He's been getting pretty much next to perfect farm in the lane, so getting everything in the lane plus getting like 6-7 camps, this is the farm you have. As BCC, he's looking very scary. We'll get the armor at around like 6-7 minutes on top of Soul Ring boots with a Quelling Blade, so this guy's farm is you know, this is a game where the Alchemist will get a lot earlier of a peak than he usually gets, if they don't shut him down. And it doesn't look like they will have a way to shut him down, because once he has the armor completed, they just simply don't have enough damage to deal with him. Like, they can't make rotations unless they commit at least like 3-4 heroes. And we'll see as top lane. Coddle just blasting it out. The troll wall will be pushing this as well. He does have phase boost plus Aquila, so he's going for this like early fighting build, not going for the most greedy of items in the world. I'm a little bit surprised he doesn't go for Trez this game though, because even though you get a lot of movement speed from the phase boots, as top lane. Coddle just blasting it out. The troll wall will be pushing this as well. He does have phase boost plus Aquila, so he's going for this like early fighting build, not going for the most greedy of items in the world. I'm a little bit surprised he doesn't go for Trez this game though, because even though you get a lot of movement speed from the phase boots, I feel like against the Necro you want as many stats as you can possibly get as early as possible. I guess you can do that by getting an early Sanguine Yasha instead of going for like something like a Manta stall. I feel like against the Necro you want as many stats as you can possibly get as early as possible. I guess you can do that by getting an early Sanguine Yasha instead of going for like something like a Manta stall on the troll, but we'll see what he decides to go for. The tier 2 tower will be pushed on here as well, as the Enchantress is just keeping the Darkseid away from the lane. The Oracle is moving in with that Invis rune, so he may on the troll, but we'll see what he decides to go for. The tier 2 tower will be pushed on here as well, as the Enchantress is just keeping the Darkseid away from the lane. The Oracle is moving in with that Invis rune, so he may be able to turn this around, as a TP rotation is coming from the CM as well. This will be a 3-on-3 action. The CM is moving in. He does have his level 4, so he's doing a little bit of damage, and now we see the Coddle get be able to turn this around, as a TP rotation is coming from the CM as well. This will be a 3-on-3 action. The CM is moving in. He does have his level 4, so he's doing a little bit of damage, and now we see the Coddle getting gone on, and the Oracle will take him down with a second Purifying Flame. The invisibility doesn't pop early enough, so the Coddle does drop down, and now the Oracle, oh, nice use of Fate's Edict as he sees that Mirana, and since the Mirana Starstorms is delayed damage, it's very easy to use the Fate's Edict to block it away. He will be taken away though, as the Satire goes for the Hadouken, and they lose that boy. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Chronosphere got used on the Necro, and he will be taken down, as the Troll will rotate down here and secure themselves a core kill on the Necro. So overall, it's still Sanguine Sharks who comes up ahead of that trade-off, as it's a 2-for-1 trade getting gone on, and the Oracle will take him down with a second Purifying Flame. The invisibility doesn't pop early enough, so the Coddle does drop down, and now the Oracle, oh, nice use of Fate's Edict as he sees that Mirana, and since the Mirana Starstorms is delayed damage, it's very easy to use the Fate's Edict to block it away. He will be taken away though, as the Satire goes for the... I would still say though that overall Fantastic 5, they're doing so much better than they lose that boy. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Chronosphere got used on the Necro, and he will be taken down, as the Troll will rotate down here and secure themselves a core kill on the Sharks right now, just because of how fast the Alchemist is managing to farm a Necro. So overall, it's still Sanguine Sharks who comes up ahead of that trade-off, as it's a 2-for-1 trade. This guy has armor completed. He's sitting on 1000 gold at nearly 8 minutes into the game, so if this keeps on going, BCC will sit on like a 12 to 13 minute radiance. And I would still say though that overall Fantastic 5, they're doing so much better than Sharks right now, just because of how fast the Alchemist is managing to farm. This guy has armor completed. He's sitting on 1000 gold at nearly 8 minutes into the game, so if this keeps on going, BCC will sit on like a 12 to 13 minute radiance, and it doesn't really matter too much what the Necrophos can do, because his ultimate alone is scary, and it looks like he's going for the Veil as the first item, so he's probably going for like Veil into Blink into Axe, something like that. Very classic as a safe lane Necro. You can amplify your own damage, you can amplify the Oracle, the CM, the Radiance on the Alchemist, you name it. It doesn't really matter too much what the Necrophos can do, because his ultimate alone is scary, and it looks like he's going for the Veil as the first item, so he's probably going for like Veil into Blink into Axe, something like that. Very classic as a safe lane necro. You can amplify your own damage, you can amplify the Oracle, the CM, the Radiance on the Alchemist, you name it. There's so many spells you make more powerful, and you even have a Darkseid on top of that. So once the Alchemist is ready to just go full out of control and kill everyone, he will have the hot so many spells you make more powerful, and you even have a Darkseid on top of that. So once the Alchemist is ready to just go full out of control and kill everyone, he will have the Heartstopper aura, he will have the heals from the Necro, he will have the Radiance Burn, Iron Shells. You know, it's so much damage over time against Sharks, and Sharks, they don't deal well with damage over time. They really do not have a good way of healing apart from the Enchantress. Sure, they have the Coddle once he gets Aghanim Scepter, but that is a long time away. Aura, he will have the heals from the Necro, he will have the Radiance Burn, Iron Shells. You know, it's so much damage over time against Sharks, and Sharks, they don't deal well with damage over time. They really do not have a good way of healing apart from the Enchantress. Sure, they have the Coddle once he gets Aghanim Scepter, but that is a long time away. Alright, let's see. Darkseid goes to TPR, doesn't get first hit bashed by the troll, so lucky for him. He doesn't end up dropping down here. He didn't really get anything stolen. Alright, let's see. Darkseid goes to TPR, doesn't get first hit bashed by the troll, so lucky for him. He doesn't end up dropping down here. He didn't really get anything stolen. I think he got like 1 or 2 creeps in this camp, so the Darkseid just buys some space as Mirana tried to get a kill on him. And yeah, Mirana moves into the mid lane, shoots an arrow in. Will no I think he got like 1 or 2 creeps in this camp, so the Darkseid just buys some space as Mirana tried to get a kill on him. And yeah, Mirana moves into the mid lane, shoots an arrow in. Will no, barely misses onto the CM as the CM just takes a simple sidestep. And I feel like we need to keep watch of BCC though. I mean, no, barely misses onto the CM as the CM just takes a simple sidestep. And I feel like we need to keep watch of BCC though. I mean, look at that farm. He's sitting on 3,000 gold now. So Radiance is 5.8, I believe, something along those lines. 5.1 actually. Yeah, I think. Look at that farm. He's sitting on 3,000 gold now. So Radiance is 5.8, I believe, something along those lines. 5.1 actually. Yeah, I think it costs a lot more than it actually does, and now he gets a mud golem stack. You know, that's a lot of gold you get from mud golems because of how, you know, the small ones pop. Then you get an extra like 50 gold each. It costs a lot more than it actually does, and now he gets a mud golem stack. You know, that's a lot of gold you get from mud golems because of how, you know, the small ones pop. Then you get an extra like 50 gold each. So that will be the Radiance completed very early. Like I said before, he will have the relic up now, so that's 10 minutes relic, and the recipe only takes a minute or 2 to continue. So that will be the Radiance completed very early. Like I said before, he will have the relic up now, so that's 10 minutes relic. And the recipe only takes a minute or two to continue farming. The Oracle in the bottom lane does get taken down as Sharks. They rotate 5 heroes down bottom, try to get a pick off. They do get one on the Oracle, but that's a support hero, so farming. The Oracle in the bottom lane does get taken down as Sharks. They rotate 5 heroes down bottom, try to get a pick off. They do get one on the Oracle, but that's a support hero, so not really the best thing in the world. You have 2 heroes who's farming very well. The Darks is pushing the top lane. He almost has his mechanism completed. The Alchemist is pushing the mid lane. Not really the best thing in the world. You have 2 heroes who's farming very well. The Darks is pushing the top lane. He almost has his mechanism completed. The Alchemist is pushing the mid lane, and they only lose the Oracle, so it's a very even trade-off. Like, you know, sure, you get some gold for the kill, but unless they get this tier 1 tower without losing anything, it's like and they only lose the Oracle, so it's a very even trade-off. Like, you know, sure, you get some gold for the kill, but unless they get this tier 1 tower without losing anything, it's not really worth it. And as you can see, Fantastic 5, they're already in position to just make this a simple trade-off, as the Alchemist will almost be able to take the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. He will not really worth it. And as you can see, Fantastic 5, they're already in position to just make this a simple trade-off, as the Alchemist will almost be able to take the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. He will back himself up because he knows that he is definitely the one they want to kill the most. So if they were to rotate on either lane, it would be very likely that he was the one they rotated on. The tier 1 top will back himself up because he knows that he is definitely the one they want to kill the most. So if they were to rotate on either lane, it would be very likely that he was the one they rotated on. The tier 1 top bottom does get taken down in the end. Both the tier 1 in the mid and the top lane is still standing, but they're both very low. So Fantastic 5, they are just content, continue. Bottom does get taken down in the end. Both the tier 1 in the mid and the top lane is still standing, but they're both very low. So Fantastic 5, they are just content, continuing to farm up. The Oracle will stack up a little bit more for the Alchemist, so will the CM, as this is just, you know, everything on BCC, as we'll see. Can he do it? Can he be the one-man army? To farm up. The Oracle will stack up a little bit more for the Alchemist, so will the CM, as this is just, you know, everything on BCC, as we'll see. Alright, so the mechanism is almost up on the Darkseid, 100 gold to go. The Alchemist has his Radiance completed now. Can he do it? Can he be the one-man army? So that's an 11 minutes and 12 and 20 seconds Radiance. I'm not really sure what the record is, but that must be pretty damn close, as I believe. Alright, so the mechanism is almost up on the Darkseid, 100 gold to go. The Alchemist has his Radiance completed now. Something like we maybe seen something like 9 or 10 minutes Radiance in the past, where you got like a good bunch of kills early on as well. But either way, the Alchemist is super farmed. That's what. So that's an 11 minutes and 12 and 20 seconds Radiance. I'm not really sure what the record is, but that must be pretty damn close, as I believe something like we maybe seen something like 9 or 10 minutes Radiance in the past, where you got like a good bunch of kills early on as well. But either way, the Alchemist is super farmed. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't know, man. Sharks, you know, the Akin himself is 2,000 gold away from the Marana. The Troll Wall is sitting on his Dragonlance. Very common item on Troll. You don't really use the range form that much, so you don't get the value but with the attack range, but it just gives you good, it's a good stat gain item. It's the best stat gain item in the game, so talking about so going back to the point earlier where you know, the Troll, he needs to get as many stats as possible as early as possible. Dragonlance into Sanguine Yasha makes, I'm trying to say, so I don't know, man. Sharks, you know, the Akin himself is 2,000 gold away from the Marana. The Troll Wall is sitting on his Dragonlance. Very common item on Troll. You don't really use the range form that much, so you don't get the value but with the attack range, but it just gives you good, it's a good stat gain item. It's the best stat gain item in the game, so talking about so going back to the point earlier where you know, the Troll, he needs to get as many stats as possible as early as possible. Dragonlance into Sanguine Yasha makes sense. You get pretty much 1800 to 2000 HP from those two items with what he has currently, so he gets very tanky all of a sudden. You get pretty much 1800 to 2000 HP from those two items with what he has currently, so he gets very tanky all of a sudden. The Void will try and finish that Vladimir's, I imagine at least. He hasn't really shown what he wants to go for yet. He may also just completely ditch going for the Vladimir's for a little while and go for the Blink first, as he's sitting on 1300 gold, but we'll see which he decides to go for. The enchanters are sitting on Treads, and nothing else is really available on the side of Sharks. Like, the Key of the Light is also just trying to bank up gold as he's sitting on Arcane Boots. And if he gets an Academic set at a decent time this game, that could be big, but I just don't see that happening. The Void will try and finish that Vladimir's, I imagine at least. He hasn't really shown what he wants to go for yet. He may also just completely ditch going for the Vladimir's for a little while and go for the Blink first, as he's sitting on 1300 gold, but we'll see which he decides to go for. The enchanters are sitting on Treads, and nothing else is really available on the side of Sharks. Like, the Key of the Light is also just trying to bank up gold as he's sitting on Arcane Boots. And if he gets an Academic set at a decent time this game, that could be big, but I just don't see that happening. And let's see, Necrophos with a Veil. He's actually going for a Buckler, so and let's see, Necrophos with a Veil. He's actually going for a Buckler, so what is he going for? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not like, he's not like, oh, I'm gonna go for Crimson Guard, but that's the only choice he has. Either way, they do go into the jungle. What is he going for? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not like, he's not like, oh, I'm gonna go for Crimson Guard, but that's the only choice he has. Either way, they do go into the jungle. They do find the Enchantress, pops this one spell with a Veil, and then ultimate instantly the Enchantress dies. As we talked about earlier, very easy way to get kills, and that's 30 seconds on the sidelines on the Enchantress, so a very simple pick off on the Necro. Is he going for mech? Like, I actually want to know, because either it's a mech or it's a Crimson Guard, right? Do find the Enchantress, pops this one spell with a Veil, and then ultimate instantly the Enchantress dies. As we talked about earlier, very easy way to get kills, and that's 30 seconds on. And the mech is complete on the Darkseer, so that must mean that now he has to transition into a, either he keeps the Buckler as just a basic Buckler, he doesn't do anything with it. Sidelines on the Enchantress, so a very simple pick off on the Necro. Is he going for mech? Like, I actually want to know, because either it's a mech or it's a Crimson Guard, right? Or he buys a Crimson Guard, and that's a very odd item on a Necro. Sure, it blocks a lot of damage away from the Troll, the Enchantress creeps, the faces, and the mech is complete on the Darkseer, so that must mean that now he has to transition into a, either he keeps the Buckler as just a basic Buckler, he doesn't do anything with it, Void as well in the early game, but it feels like a Doxia item, not a Necro item. Like Necro getting Blink Axe seems like a lot. Or he buys a Crimson God, and that's a very odd item on a Necro. Sure, it blocks a lot of damage away from the Troll, the Enchantress creeps, the faces. A lot better. It just seems a lot better in general, but we'll see. We will see. Void as well in the early game, but it feels like a Doxia item, not a Necro item. Like Necro getting Blink Axe seems like a lot. So top lane, 3 people moving in, trying to push it down. The Chronosphere is available from the Faceless Void. He could try and do something with it, as he's actually building a Preserver a lot better. It just seems a lot better in general, but we'll see. We will see. So a Lincoln Sphere on the Void. Interesting item choice. Sure, it's a good item. Have one Lincoln this game. You can use it on any of your teammates, or you can use it. You can have it. So top lane, 3 people moving in, trying to push it down. The Chronosphere is available from the Faceless Void. He could try and do something with it, as he's actually building a Preserver for yourself to deny the Necrophos the ability to use Reaper's Scythe. So getting that that item is definitely something they probably would need to get. So a Lincoln Sphere on the Void. Interesting item choice. Sure, it's a good item. Have one Lincoln this game. You can use it on any of your teammates, or you can use it. You can have it for yourself to deny the Necrophos the ability to use Reaper's Scythe. So getting that that item is definitely something they probably would need to get 2 items, but it's still not a Faceless Void safe lane, so it's a very greedy item as an offlaner to get. The Troll Warlord, I guess he's making up for it by having 2 items, but it's still not a Faceless Void safe lane, so it's a very greedy item as an offlaner to get. The Troll Warlord, I guess he's making up for it by having an early game build, but he's not the one fighting. He has a TP available, so he may try and, you know, go up into the top lane and make this a fight. We'll see though, as Shark having an early game build, but he's not the one fighting. He has a TP available, so he may try and, you know, go up into the top lane and make this a fight. We'll see though, as Sharks, yeah, they're just farming up on all 5 heroes as much as possible. Whereas Fantastic 5, they're not farming that well on the Darkseid as well as a Necro. Like, Sharks, they can keep up with those. Yeah, they're just farming up on all 5 heroes as much as possible. Whereas Fantastic 5, they're not farming that well on the Darkseid as well as a Necro. Like, Sharks, they can keep up with those 2 heroes. The Void is just behind of the Darkseid. The Mirana is a little bit ahead of the Necrophos. Troll is also farming very well, but the Alchemist is just so big, and oh, beautiful. Two heroes. The Void is just behind of the Darkseid. The Mirana is a little bit ahead of the Necrophos. Troll is also farming very well, but the Alchemist is just so big, and oh, beautiful vacuum wall as that removes the Void as well as the Keep of the Light. The Enchantress gets destroyed as well as everyone gets dragged into the Chronosphere, so suddenly the Chronosphere just gets turned against vacuum wall as that removes the Void as well as the Keep of the Light. The Enchantress gets destroyed as well as everyone gets dragged into the Chronosphere, so suddenly the Chronosphere just gets turned against you. As sure, the Void doesn't mind being in the Chrono, but the 2 others, they cannot move in the Chrono, so they actually make the Void stun his own teammates, and they lose 3 heroes. They get the as sure, the Void doesn't mind being in the Chrono, but the 2 others, they cannot move in the Chrono, so They actually make the Void stun his own teammates, and they lose 3 heroes. They get the Oracle in the bottom lane as the Troll Wall manages to get himself a solo kill, but apart from that, that was a huge team fight. Lost 3 heroes down for the count, and now the Necrophos, he's sitting on nearly 2,000 gold. Blink would be a very easy item for him to pick up. The Darkseer is also sitting very close to 2,000 gold, so he can get a Blink himself, and everything just seems to be smooth for the Oracle in the bottom lane as the Troll Wall manages to get himself a solo kill, but apart from that, that was a huge team fight. Lost 3 heroes down for the count, and now the Necrophos, he's sitting on side of Fantastic 5. The CM is even buying an aura item. It looks like he's going for a Hood of Defiance into a pipe, so nearly 2,000 gold. Blink would be a very easy item for him to pick up. The Darkseer is also sitting very close to 2,000 gold, so he can get a Blink himself, and everything just seems to be smooth for the side of Fantastic 5. The CM is even buying an aura item. It looks like he's going for a Hood of Defiance into a pipe, so they want to go for this early, like, I wouldn't necessarily say early, but they want to go for this timing where at 25 minutes, maybe a little bit later, the they want to go for this early, like, I wouldn't necessarily say early, but they want to go for this timing where at 25 minutes, maybe a little bit later, the Alchemist will have Radiance, he will have his Mantis Cell, Octarine Core, Shiva's Guard, and then if they have Mechanism, Pipe, Veil on top of that, they can just fire. Alchemist will have Radiance, he will have his Mantis Cell, Octarine Core, Shiva's Guard, and then if they have Mechanism, Pipe, Veil on top of that, they can just fireman down a lane and try and end the game. Darks in the bottom lane will be bashed up a lot though, as the Troll Wall just removes him from the game. BCC goes in though, gets a nice 2-man stun. Man down a lane and try and end the game. Darks in the bottom lane will be bashed up a lot though, as the Troll Wall just removes him from the game. BCC goes in though, gets a nice 2-man stun, catches the Void, kills the Void, and now the Troll Wall, he's very fast, but he's not fast enough. He will be taken down by BCC. The burning is happening. The Enchantress is a little bit in trouble as well. Will be catches the Void, kills the Void, and now the Troll Wall, he's very fast, but he's not fast enough. He will be taken down by BCC. The burning is happening. The Enchantress is a little bit in trouble as well. Will be stunned up, will be controlled. 1 hit. 2 hits, doing a lot of damage, but a nice little blinding light from the Keeper of the Light, pushing him on to the high ground again. So the Enchantress will get out of that one. Either way, 2-for-1 trade so far. As the Cardinal maybe a little bit in danger. BCC he's still running after them. He will go in. He does have the sun available, and he will be able to burn him. Is it enough? Stunned up, will be controlled. 1 hit. 2 hits, doing a lot of damage, but a nice little blinding light from the Keeper of the Light, pushing him on to the high ground again. So the Enchantress will get out of that one. Either way. Ooh, so close. The Radiance burn stopped, and he got out of this acid. Just 1 tick more from any of the 2 things would have killed him. 2-for-1 trade so far. As the Cardinal maybe a little bit in danger. BCC he's still running after them. He will go in. He does have the sun available, and he will be able to burn him. Is it enough? Oh. And yeah, in the end, it is a Crimson Guard coming out from the Necro, so very interesting itemization. Oh, so close. The Radiance burn stopped, and he got out of this acid. Just 1 tick more from any of the 2 things would have killed him. I would still say, you know, Crimson Guard is a good item this game to block the Troll as well as the Void, because both of them, they rely on hitting fast, so they don't do a... And yeah, in the end, it is a Crimson Guard coming out from the Necro, so Very interesting itemization. A lot of damage per hit, and Crimson Guard buff will take a lot of that damage away, but it's a weird item on a Necro, man. It's a very weird item on a Necro. Either way, he will have it up. We have the Academic Scepter finally being completed by the Mirana 17 minutes into the game. A decent timing, but it's like in this game where you're playing against an... I would still say, you know, Crimson Guard is a good item this game to block the troll as well as the void, because both of them they rely on hitting fast, so they don't do an alchemist who's sitting at 17,000 net worth in 17 minutes, 1k per minute, pretty much reaching that point. He's very close to it. Then, you know, it's a lot of damage per hit, and Crimson Guard buff will take a lot of that damage away, but it's a weird item on a Necro, man. It's a very weird item on a Necro. Enough, like, good farm is not good enough. Like, you need insane farm. Now they will move into the bottom area, as the Alchemist has Manta Illusions walking left and right farm. Either way, he will have it up. We have the Academic Scepter finally being completed by the Mirana 17 minutes into the game. A decent timing, but it's like in this game where you're playing against and coming up aggressively, he's already gone himself as he's moving into the top area with the rest of his team, just trying to continuously dodge out everything. He has some more illusions being found along the way. Alchemist who's sitting at 17,000 net worth in 17 minutes, 1k per minute, pretty much reaching that point. He's very close to it. Then, you know, it's way that will increase his farm per minute again and again. And let's see. Necrophos. Enough, like, good farm is not good enough. Like, you need insane farm. Now they will move into the bottom area, as the Alchemist has Manta Illusions walking left and right, farming up aggressively. He's already gone himself as he's moving into the top area with the rest of his team, just trying to continuously dodge out everything. He has some more illusions being found along the way. In the mid lane, just pushing it very far in, and now the Alchemist moves in. He gets a stun onto the Mirana. The Mirana can leave onto the high ground if he wants to. He goes in on the Necrophos. The Necrophos is dropping very... That will increase his farm per minute again and again. And let's see. Necrophos. He may be taken down here. False Promise will be used on him, keeping him alive for a little bit at the very least. And now the faces what a nice Chronosphere. The Necrophos may be taken down. He gets his ultimate off though. In the mid lane, just pushing it very far in. And now the Alchemist moves in. He gets a stun onto the Mirana. The Mirana can leave onto the high ground if he wants to. He goes in on the Necrophos. The Necrophos is dropping very... The Mirana barely survives. They do get the troll wall taken down now, and Aixen on the enchanters gets dropped down as well. Now the Keeper of the Light will be taken down alongside him, so 2 for 3 trade as the... He may be taken down here. False Promise will be used on him, keeping him alive for a little bit at the very least. And now the faces what a nice Chronosphere. The Necrophos may be taken down. He gets his ultimate off though. The Mirana barely survives. They do get the troll wall taken down now, and Aixen on the enchanters gets dropped down as well. Now the Keeper of the Light will be taken down alongside him, so 2 for 3 trade as the CM got killed by the Coddle. Oh, Mirana goes in, shoots an arrow, but he's a little bit in trouble. He gets hit by that Fortune's End, gets hit by the stun from BCC. BCC goes in, gets a right CM got killed by the Coddle. Oh, Mirana goes in, shoots an arrow, but he's a little bit in trouble. He gets hit by that Fortune's End, gets hit by the stun from BCC. BCC goes in, gets a right click off, and he will take him down. So 4 dead on the side of Sharks, and now this is just turning into one of those death ball pushes as BCC will move in very aggressively. The Darkseid going in click off, and he will take him down. So 4 dead on the side of Sharks, and now this is just turning into one of those death ball pushes as BCC will move in very aggressively. The Doxy going in with his Iron Shells as well, doing some work, and they will go high ground with this. They have no reason not to. The Troll is dead for a long time, the Mirana's dead for a long time. They can take the racks if they want to. No with his Iron Shells as well, doing some work, and they will go high ground with this. They have no reason not to. The Troll is dead for a long time, the Mirana's dead for a long time. They can take the racks if they want to. No buybacks available on either of the heroes in the Sharks lineup. Only the Coddle can buy it back, but he's not the one you want to have in this fight to be able to defend. At least not alone. You buybacks available on either of the heroes in the Sharks lineup. Only the Coddle can buy it back, but he's not the one you want to have in this fight to be able to defend. At least not alone. You want everyone here. Now the Faces What goes in, gets that time dilation off, will scare away Fantastic 5 as they respect the fact that the Miranas will, as the Troll Warlord is respawning soon. Want everyone here. Now the Faces What goes in, gets that time dilation off, will scare away Fantastic 5 as they respect the fact that the Miranas will, as the Troll Warlord is respawning soon. So they will back themselves up. They almost got the tier 3 tower taken down, very close to, so they can very easily take it down later on. So they will back themselves up. They almost got the tier 3 tower taken down, very close to, so they can very easily take it down later on. And now with the Alchemist sitting on a soul booster, you know. And now with the Alchemist sitting on a soul booster, you know, farming, getting bigger and bigger. The Doxy has a blink available now. The Necrophos has to complete the Crimson Guard, so he's a very tanky hero as well. CM sitting on that hood, almost completed pipe. The Oracle is trying to get an Aether Lens for himself, and Sharks, you know, item wise, it doesn't feel like they have enough. Like, farming, getting bigger and bigger. The Doxy has a blink available now. The Necrophos has to complete the Crimson Guard, so he's a very tanky hero as well. CM sitting on that hood, almost completed pipe. The Oracle is trying to get an Aether Lens for himself, and Sharks, you know, item wise, it doesn't feel like they have enough. Like, the next time that Sharks is able to fight convincingly, in my opinion, is when the Troll has BKB, when the Void has Diffusal Blade, and Coddle has Axe. The Mirana's ready. That's the one hero who's ready with the damage output, because Axe is just his main source of damage anyways. The next time that Sharks is able to fight convincingly, in my opinion, is when the Troll has BKB, when the Void has but the other three heroes, they need like the next big item to be able to take this fight, because Fantastic 5, they are just too survivable at this point. I don't think you can deal with them whatsoever. They are sitting on a 12k net worth lead right now. The Carl is doing his best possible to try and delay this push, but with a Necrophos who can just spam out his death pulse, he can put Diffusal Blade, and Coddle has Axe. The Mirana's ready. That's the one hero who's ready with the damage output, because Axe is just his main source of damage anyways. But the other three heroes, they need like the next big item to be able to take this fight, because Fantastic 5, they are just too survivable at this point. I don't think pretty much deny all of the damage that the Coddle Blast does. It's not even a maxed out Coddle Blast, it's a level 3 Illuminate. In the meantime though, they are pushing the tier 2 tower in the mid lane, so they will make it almost a 2-for-1 tower trade, but nope. They don't get a tier 2 mid, as Fantastic 5, they just rotate into the mid lane. They know that they're the ones who's very much, you can deal with them whatsoever. They are sitting on a 12k net worth lead right now. The Carl is doing his best possible to try and delay this push, but with a Necrophos who can just spam out his Death Balls, he can pretty much deny all of the damage that the Cardle Blast does. It's not even a maxed out Cardle Blast, it's a level 3 Illuminate. In the meantime though, they are pushing the tier 2 tower in the mid lane, so they will make it ahead, so they just want to deny as much farm as possible from Sharks. They can farm aggressively anyways, like they don't want to go high ground before BCC has his Arcturing almost a 2-for-1 tower trade, but nope. They don't get a tier 2 mid as Fantastic Fire, they just rotate into the mid lane. They know that they're the ones who's very much ahead, so they just want to deny as much farm as possible from Sharks. They can farm aggressively anyways, like they don't want to go high ground before BCC has his Arcturing plus his Shiva's God anyways, so they are fine with waiting, you know, 3 minutes more, 4 minutes more, and then they can go high ground because they know they are so far ahead. And now Arcturing completed by BCC. The Shiva's God, I believe it takes him like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes or something like that to complete that amount of gold plus the Shiva's God anyways. So they are fine with waiting, you know, 3 minutes more, 4 minutes more, and then they can go high ground because they know they are so far ahead. And now Arcturing completed by BCC. The Shiva's God, I believe it takes him like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes or something like that to complete that amount of gold that is required to get a Shiva's God, and then, you know, it's just 5-man Dota from there on out. As the Doxy has his Guardian Greaves completed now, the CM pipe up and ready. That is required to get a Shiva's God, and then, you know, it's just 5-man Dota from there on out. As the Doxy has his Guardian Greaves completed now, the CM pipe up and ready. So they have those 3, you know, the trifecta of defensive items: Crimson, Pipe, and Greaves. So everything is ready to go. Alright, mid lane we do have the Troll Wallet trying to go in for a sneaky Roshan attempt, but as you can see, the Alchemist is already just sending illusions left and right. So they have those 3, you know, the trifecta of defensive items: Crimson, Pipe, and Greaves. So everything is ready to go. Spotting out the fact that there's 2 people in the pit, so they will not be able to take this Roshan for themselves. Could be a big one. If they got the Roshan, that could have at least made it somewhat smoother the next fight. So alright, mid lane we do have the Troll Wallet trying to go in for a sneaky Roshan attempt, but as you can see, the Alchemist is already just sending illusions left and right. So they can, you know, try and go in with a troll. Maybe he ends up dying, maybe he soaks up a Necro ultimate and then respawns for the Aegis, but that will not happen. The push will commence as Fantastic 5. They don't want to wait any longer than they have to. BCC, he goes up, he has the playmail available, so he has enough tankiness for the Shiva's God to just go up high ground and be comfortable. Spotting out the fact that there's 2 people in the pit, so they will not be able to take this Roshan for themselves. Could be a big one. If they got the Roshan, that could have at least made it somewhat smoother the next fight, so they can, you know, try and go in with a troll. Maybe he ends up dying, maybe he soaks up a Necro ultimate and then respawns for the Aegis, but that will not happen. The push will commence as Fantastic 5. They don't want to wait any longer than they have to. BCC, he goes up, he has the playmail available, so he has enough tankiness for the Shiva's God to just go up high ground and be comfortable about doing so. He will be stunned up here now. He needs to be a little bit careful about that stun, but obviously it's a small buffer room and it's definitely not enough to work with, as the Faceless Void with a about doing so. He will be stunned up here now. He needs to be a little bit careful about that stun, but obviously it's a small buffer room and it's definitely not enough to work with, as the Faceless Void with the Lincoln Sphere almost completed, but I still very much doubt the idea of getting Lincoln Sphere first item on an offlane Void. It just, like, he's just not done anything this game. I don't feel like he contributes to the team fight with anything. Two of them are Mirana getting the T2 tower taken in the bottom lane, so they do get one tower. Lincoln Sphere almost completed, but I still very much doubt the idea of getting Lincoln Sphere first item on an offlane void. It just, like, he's just not done anything this game. I don't feel like... And now they go in, arrow will be shot onto BCC, he's getting controlled a little bit, they do have the false promise available if they need to use it. BCC still fine, he's just regenning up, they get the faces white tick. He contributes to the team fight with anything. Two of them are Mirana getting the T2 tower taken in the bottom lane, so they do get one tower. And now they go in, arrow will be shot onto BCC, he's getting controlled a little bit, they do have the false promise available if they need to use it. BCC still fine, he's just regenning up, they get the faces white taken down with the Reaper side. Now they go in, Mirana will be controlled, and oh my god, that damage. Troll Wallet just gets obliterated with the wall, with the vacuum, and the Radiance burn. Down with the Reaper side. Now they go in, Mirana will be controlled, and oh my god, that damage. Troll Wallet just gets obliterated with the wall, with the vacuum, and the Radiance burn, and everything from Fantastic 5. They just can't be touched. You can just see this happening. Pipe, Crimson, Guardian, Graves, they don't lose HP. They literally don't lose HP. So 3 dead on the side of Sharks. Rax in the mid lane taken down. BCC will move down to the bottom area and continue taking Rax down here, and this just looks like the end. Sharks, they do have a buyback available on the Troll Wallet, but he's already used his ultimate. They've already... No, they haven't used the Chronosphere, I guess. And everything from Fantastic 5, they just can't be touched. You can just see this happening. Pipe, Crimson, Guardian, Graves, they don't lose HP. They literally don't lose HP. So 3 dead on the side of Sharks. Rax in the mid lane taken down. BCC will move down to the bottom area and continue taking Rax down here, and this just looks like... But they need at the very minimum, they need all 5 heroes to be up and alive to be able to hope to take this fight, but it doesn't seem like that will ever happen. Oh, a nice stun. Vacuum into a dual stun from BCC as he gets a double kill from that. Beautiful play by the Darkseid as he just secures that BCC gets a good stun off. And that will be 2 more dead on the side of Sharks. They get another set of frags taken down in the bottom lane, and the stomp continues like the end. Sharks, they do have a buyback available on the Troll Wallet, but he's already used his ultimate. They've already... No, they haven't used the Chronosphere, I guess, but... They need at the very minimum, they need all 5 heroes to be up and alive to be able to hope to take this fight, but it doesn't seem like that will ever happen. Oh, a nice stun. Vacuum into a dual stun from BCC as he gets a double kill from that. Beautiful play by... Guys, the storm continues. Mirana in the backlines is trying to go in, goes on the Oracle, but Fate's Edict comes online from the Oracle as he's like, you cannot touch me, you cannot touch me. And now the Faceless Void goes in, Chronosphere onto 4 people, but even though it's a good Chronosphere, you know, no fallout damage, no kills, and GG well play gets called. As Sharks, they will lose this game 1 in a best of 2 series, so very convincingly as well as Fantastic 5. Their strategy was good, they had a lot of, you know, early game focused heroes. The Alchemist farmed. He got all the farm that he wanted to. They stacked up a lot for him. He got early timings. He got so much farm, and he was never shut down the lane. The Darkseid as he just secures that BCC gets a good stun off, and that will be 2 more dead on the side of Sharks. They get another set of frags taken down in the bottom lane, and the stomp continues, guys. The stomp continues. Mirana in the backlines is trying to go in, goes on the Oracle, but Fate's Edict comes online from the Oracle as he's like, you cannot touch me, you cannot touch me. Even though Sanguine Shark's lineup seemed pretty interesting, it seemed like it could work out. Like I said, they just had 2 defensive heroes to actually deal. And now the Faceless Void goes in, Chronosphere onto 4 people, but even though it's a good Chronosphere, you know, no fallout damage, no kills, and GG well play gets called. As Sharks, they will lose this game 1 in a best of 2 series, so very convincingly as well as Fantastic Five. Their strategy was good. They had a lot of, you know, early game focused heroes. The Alchemist, they couldn't really make any rotations on him. The Enchanters tried to early on, but with the CM counter pick, it just makes it so difficult for the Enchanters to get those early kills going that you really want to in the Enchantress roaming position, because CM goes up, he frostbites the creep, and the creep disappears. So I would say that from a drafting point of view, Fantastic Five were already looking very, very solid, and they just played the game. They got the timings they needed to, and they just walked down the lane and won the game. So good first game in this best of 2 series, and we will move straight into the next one. As like I said, it's a best of 2 series, so Sanguine Sharks, they will have one more tab at it. The Alchemist farmed. He got all the farm that he wanted to. They stacked up a lot for him. He got early timings. He got so much farm, and he was never shut down the lane. Even though Sanguine Shark's lineup seemed pretty interesting, it seemed like it could work out. Like I said, they just had 2 defensive heroes to actually deal with the Alchemist. They couldn't really make any rotations on him. The Enchanters tried to early on, but with the CM counter pick, it just makes it so difficult for the Enchanters to get those early kills going that you really want to in the Enchantress roaming position, because CM goes up, he frostbites the creep, and the creep disappears. So I would say that from a drafting point of view, Fantastic Five were already looking very, very solid, and they just played the game. They got the timings they needed to, and they just walked down the lane and won the game. So good first game in this best of 2 series, and we will move straight into the next one. As like I said, it's a best of 2 series, so Sanguine Sharks, they will have one more tab at it.